You are listening to WPHM Digital Broadcasting. The best in paranormal talk radio.
Reaching all the way back to 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition. Here is your host of Fate Radio, Kat Hobson.
Good evening. Excuse me. Welcome to Fate Radio. I am your host, Kat Hobson. And as most of you know, yes, I am the epitome of grace. I think I set a land speed record for getting off my plane in Key West and being in a hospital environment. So, ta-da! But I am back. I am ready. I am fortunate enough to be welcoming Chris Maggard to my show tonight. But before I get to his introduction, which, trust me, is just amazing. This man has done everything. I wanted to say a couple of things, the first of which is the people in California. A lot of y'all who are my friends are in the direct paths of these fires, or you've already had to flee, or I haven't heard from you yet. And just know that, good heavens, I don't even know the right words to say except that we love you, we're praying for you. It seems like there's always something catastrophic going on with our environment, and we love you, man. We'll do what it takes to get you through this. I know that I had friends who are from Paradise, which is no longer there. Being from Alabama, on our day of tornadoes, we all can understand that feeling. So there are people who can empathize with you, and we know what it's like, and we're going to get you there. And as for the other things, I don't do politics, but people need to get their act together. There's no excuse for the same county having the same issues over and over, and the same person who was found responsible for it being in that position still. So let's find somebody that can count these things and get this over and get back to the business of running a country and being a United States of America. That's what we're supposed to do. You know, it's Veterans Day. People have died so we can do this. People have not died and served and gone on to live their lives so we can do this. Just do it. Doesn't sound that hard, right? What do you know? Seems to be. And that being said, I'm stepping off this soapbox because the main thing is California right now. And I am going to say I am excited. And I did not anticipate this being my first presented interview with Chris. We have met a couple of different times. I got to see him both at Mid-South and at Scarefest this year. I did a interview with him at Scarefest as part of my review of their event, which is what I do in my Halloween show every year. Well, I was in a hospital with no computer for Halloween. Who knew I'd be dressed up as a patient, right? So this is my first time being able to present Christopher Maggard and his history to you. And I'm so excited. He is the executive producer and director of Harlan, Kentucky's Manzo Shepherd Story. He is the owner of Creepy Attic Productions, LLC. He is a camera operator, an editor, or perhaps former, at Lily's Cry. He is a former cameraman, editor, photographer, director for Irish TV Sky 191 at Out and About USA. He is the producer and presenter, TV host, and Paranormal Reality TV, on Paranormal Reality TV. The show is The Search, Evidence Unknown. And, you know, he's got this little thing coming up. I don't know if you've heard about it yet. I know his principals in this show. He's got a great cast. He's got a great crew. And I'm thinking that he is going to take just about anybody on the block out for a run for their money with his new film, Rosa Leigh. And Christopher Maggard, welcome to Fate Magazine Radio.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. And just so everyone knows, you are actually traveling, doing location research. So that is a dedicated man, and I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we're actually on the road heading back home from location scouting today. So, yeah, it's been a long day.
Well, that will be, won't it? That's writing anywhere. While it's not a bad thing at all, sometimes it gets a little tough. But did you find something that you couldn't live without?
Well, yeah, we found a good town, but it just didn't really hit where we wanted for the next film.
Right.
But we have another location that we're going to use instead. So, and that's thanks to my good friend Kathy Johnson and her boyfriend Brian, who's actually my storyboard artist for my film, Rosa Leigh. And I'm also here with my right-hand man and owner of Bill TV, Sean Burton Saunders, and my wife, Elena, who's sleeping in the back of the van right now. Bless her heart.
Well, she works as hard as you do.
Yes, she does.
Well, what area of the country are y'all in while you're doing this?
We just left southeastern Kentucky. We were down by Virginia-Tennessee border.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty area.
Yeah, it's very pretty and very old, and we was hoping for some better results today, but, you know, Kathy Johnson, a good friend of ours, brought it up and said, hey, I got this town. This town's exactly what you're looking for, and she showed me pictures. I'm like, and why are we not there? Yeah, because my dumb ass wanted to go down here.
It happens, though, you know.
Yeah, but it was worth the trip. Yeah, spend the day with some really amazing people who I love and dearly, and call my friends and call my family.
Yeah. Well, do you already have a schedule for this? Like a beginning schedule? Do you already have your script and everything done?
Brian Ingram, he's one who did my storyboards for Rosa Leigh. He's actually, he's halfway through writing the script. So we've already got pretty much a good part of the cast figured out for the new film. It's going to be a major budget, big budget film.
Well, that's pretty exciting. Is it going to be as big as Rosa Leigh, do you think?
As much as I love Rosa Leigh, and I think Rosa Leigh is going to really blow people's minds.
Absolutely.
This other film is a different genre, so it'll be just as big, if not bigger.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to give out too much, but I will tell you this: it'll give everybody an emotional roller coaster ride.
Oh my gosh, I thought that was going to be happening with Rosa Leigh too.
Oh, this is going to be bigger.
Oh my gosh. That is just way too exciting.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, we're pretty excited about who we're going to have on board, so.
Well, I think that it's all going to be just outstanding because as I said, I know people who are in Rosa Leigh. I know your primaries, or a couple of them, and they're brilliant. So I'm looking forward, and I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody that listens to this knows, and they're probably sitting there going, oh, seriously, because they don't believe that I'm going to be watching this movie. Okay. I do not, as a rule, do horror because I am an empath who gets a very lot of information through that. And I have an issue sometimes with watching a really well produced horror film, especially with good actors who are able to emote well. And but this one I'm going to actually get out there and enjoy. So,
Yeah, it's going to be good.
well, what led you into the paranormal genre for this?
For the film or just the paranormal genre alone?
Well, I guess we should start with the paranormal genre period that would lead up to the film, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, with the paranormal, yeah. With the paranormal, it started several years ago when I was a little kid in Southern California. And my mom and dad had this really nice house in Fountain Valley, California. And, you know, it seemed like we had a happy life. You know, my dad married a woman with had kids of her own, so we had a big family. And then, before we know it, my stepsister, is starting to get attacked by something you can't see. And it was just not like a little scratch here, a little something like that. No, it was very physical. Bruises, hair being pulled. Looked like someone was beating the crap out of her, punching her in her stomach right in front of us.
Oh my gosh.
It got bad, and it started affecting the whole family, coming at everybody in the family, and destroying the house. And it got to a point where it almost killed my sister. It was a Saturday. We just had brunch, summertime. I was going to go down and see my buddy Raymond because we was going to go play Star Wars. Little kids do, so we do. And my sister was standing in the kitchen, and it literally looked like someone grabbed her by the shoulders and threw her into the window.
Oh my word.
And thank God, you know, my mom freaked out. She thought she was going to bleed out because my sister put her hand out to brace for the impact, and so it cut up her hand and wrist. And thank God she didn't hit an artery or anything like that. But the kitchen looked like a damn murder scene from all the blood. And at that point, Mom and Dad finally realized the kids were telling the truth. And so we moved out of that house, and that house burnt down right after we moved out. And a couple houses later, we moved into another place, and things started happening again, but it came after me, and then we moved out of that, and that house burnt down.
Oh my gosh.
So all that sparked my interest into, like, how can something we don't see be so physical in the real world? And to literally watch my sister almost die. And I don't wish that on anybody. People get in the paranormal field because they think it's cool or it's awesome or they're going to be the next big thing. Like, hold up. You know what? And I'm not saying everybody's like that, but what I witnessed my sister go through, I never want anybody to ever go through that, ever. And it was my family and I lived in a total nightmare for over a year.
Wow. Well, that's just absolutely horrible. And you said it came after you next, though. Was it just as physical with you?
Well, it tried. I was trying to be the brave little brother, and then when I moved out, I guess it started, and I just said, that's enough. That's enough. And I had a priest come in and do a blessing in my home, and then I had a high priestess of the Wiccan community come in and do a blessing. And I had to throw away personal things that I had